Hey y'all, so in this video we're going to be doing a Christmas tree topper bow, and we're going to be using progressively smaller ribbon. So I'm going to zoom you down and we're going to start going. There we go. All right. Okay, so we're going to start with 5-inch wide ribbon. I don't use ribbon like this very much, but they're really great for doing tree topper bows. So I do keep some on hand. So we'll start with about a 12-inch tail. Okay. So remember just to put that sideways. Twist on this side, leave this side alone. Okay. We're going to start out at 8 inches. So just go to the 8 inches on your board. And one thing you can do is hold your hand there while you put it down and twist. It's a really good way if you have trouble getting your bow loops to be the same, then use that hand to hold it in place while you place it down and twist. And then just kind of make sure it's right. Right. There we go. There's the second one. So we're only going to do 2. Okay, and then we'll trim this off. And we're going to dovetail. So we just fold it in half and we cut at an angle up to that wired edge. Okay, just like this. So you can see this is the start. I'm going to go ahead and put my zip tie underneath here. Then we're going to go to 4-inch ribbon. Okay. So we did our dovetail. All right, this time we're going to go to 7 inches. So 7. Then you can move your ribbon and hover over it to see it. 7. We're going to do 3 loops with this. Okay. 7. 7. 7. And 7. So this one we just bring out straight, trim it off, get our dovetail. Now you can see when we spread these out, you can see how this is going to round out our bow. Just like this. So you see how the bow kind of comes all the way around. All right, now we're going to start in with a 2.5-inch ribbon. This one's going to bring in a little pop of black in it. It does have wording on it, so we'll have to pay attention to that. Okay, now we're going to go to 6 inches. Right there. Okay, 6. And we'll flip this one. Okay. We're just going to keep going with the 6 inches. So you can see this ribbon takes 3 to go all the way around. It is not quite, but almost twice as large as this ribbon. This helps you to determine how many loops you need to make it around. So we need about 5 loops to make it all the way around. Okay. You can do between 4 and 5 loops with this one to really get a good kind of going around. If you want to stick with 4, 4 is good as well. As a matter of fact, I think that's what we'll do. Okay. So you see how well 4 goes around? Very well. There we go. Okay. This ribbon is a double-sided ribbon. So you can use either side of this. You see how we can use the black and white side, or we can use the red side. In this instance, we're going to use the red side. Alright, so we're going to do 6 again. So, make sure we have 6. There we go. This ribbon is much thicker because it is double-sided. So you do kind of have to work with it a little bit. Okay. Now you see how this ribbon wants to come out because it's so thick. Push it down, and it should start to compress a little bit. Okay. The great thing is that this is double-sided ribbon, but you're still going to see little peaks of the black and white in there, and so that's going to coordinate really well with this. Okay. So we did 3 on that one. Okay, we're going to do 2 of this one at 6 inches as well. So you can see why I went ahead and put the zip tie in, because it is going to get a little bit more difficult to hold it in the bow maker. But just remember to push it down. It's not going to hurt the bow maker. Trim it off. I have 1 more to add. Okay, so we're going to add this one. We'll do 1 loop with this. Okay, twist. 1 loop. I am making the tails a little longer. Now we'll go ahead, get our zip tie up here. Now for this kind of bow, you really need a larger zip tie. So I have a 14-inch zip tie. And we'll go ahead and pull that out. Right now, you can see where our indentation is right there in the middle. I'm going to hold one side and run it around. Very important that you hold that side. This is a very thick bow, and that's okay. Okay, Just kind of making sure all of my tails are going where I want them to, and that my loops are in there. Everything looks and is placed where it should be. There we go. All right. Now for this one, I'm going to put some rustic or antique wire on it. Some places call it rustic wire, some places call it antique wire. And you can see it's a very thick wire and it's covered in a twine. All right, so then we're gonna push this down. Place that right through that zip tie. There we go. Now we want to pull our zip tie nice and tight. Okay, this is a large bow. So with a large bow, you want to start, you really want to start on the bottom no matter what your bow is, but especially with this one. So you do want to pull and fluff each piece. I'm just holding it at the bottom. And with this piece, I will hold it down towards the table because it is so large. It makes it a little bit easier for me to fluff it if I kind of have it at the table. Then I can kind of hold it down with my hand while I'm fluffing. Okay. These are the ones you'll have to work on the most. The double-sided ribbon. Okay. There we go. Okay, there's one side. All right, let's do the other side. I will stop when I need to pull things out. Now this bow can go actually on the top of the tree or on the side of the tree. It really depends on how you want it to look. Okay, so now we can pull our tails, each one of our little tails. You can even flip the one that's double-sided if you'd rather see the other part on the tails. Okay. All right, now let's look at it and just kind of refluff just a little bit. All I'm really doing is kind of sticking my hand in there and fluffing it out. We did have it down on the table, so now you just need to take a minute to actually fluff it. There we go. You can see how these large parts of the bow really give it that nice round effect. Like this. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. So see, it can sit on top of the tree. It can sit on the side of the tree. Now, if you want to do it on top of the tree, I would take one of each ribbon and pull it to the other side. But it really depends on, you know, what you want it to be. Let's see, where did I put that little tree? It's here somewhere. I'll see it now. Well, here, let's use this. Okay, we'll just use this to show you what it looks like. You see how pretty that is? Look how pretty that is. All right, so that is our first tree topper bow. All right, and I'll see y'all in the next one.